Gibraltar is home to what is probably the most famous rock in Europe. The British overseas territory covers only around 6.5 square kilometers. Some 30,000 people live here. And it is also home to at least 200 Barbary apes, or macaques. Eric Shaw feeds and monitors the animals every morning.
These are the last wild, free-ranging primates in the whole of Europe. That is quite incredible when you consider we're in Europe. We expect to find them over there in Africa. So from that point of view, we've got to try to preserve them, not just for us, but for the rest of Europe.
Each ape gets a pound of fruit and vegetables every morning. They have to find the rest of the food themselves, but that's not a problem. After all, they are one of Gibraltar's top attractions. Some 3 million tourists come to see them each year. There's a legend that says Gibraltar will remain under British rule as long as there are apes on the rock.
We really don't know how the monkeys originally finished here in Gibraltar. They've been here in Gibraltar for about 310 years with British. They've always been here since the British came here in 1704.
One of Gibraltar's oldest buildings, the Moorish castle, is a reminder that the territory was once ruled by the Moors. They were followed by the Spanish, then the British.
I would describe a Gibraltarian as being a Latin Brit. So that's how I would describe ourselves, because we are efficient and we are not maybe as laid back as the Spanish, but we do enjoy our typical British pints in the sun.
Gail Frances Tyrone was Miss Gibraltar in 1985. Now she works in tourism. One of her favorite spots is St. Michael's Cave. Further beneath the rock, you'll find 42-year-old Mario Balocchi. He's been showing people around the caves for a decade. It's a remarkable subterranean world full of enormous stalactites and stalagmites. There are underground lakes, too. This site attracts around 1 million tourists each year.
What I like of the shop is the beauty of my cave. I like to show people what I expected to do. It's enjoyable. It's not a normal walking tour.
Back in the open air, visitors can see downtown Gibraltar. It has a typically British feel, even though Spain is right next door. The Spanish and British governments have often faced political tension over Gibraltar. But the British who live there say they feel fine in their sunny enclave. Among them are Kathy Field and her husband Jim. For more than 20 years now, they've been running a sailing school. Sometimes lucky students even get to see dolphins. The place is also great for scuba diving. The waters off the coast feature many wrecks, like this steamer. British diving instructor Tony Watkins comes here often with his pupils. The SS Rosalind sank in 1916 during a storm. The African coast is just 14 kilometers away.
It was at this point that Hercules split the two mountains with his club. Geologically, it actually happened because 5 million years ago, the Mediterranean was a dry desert, a basin, and the two mountains were joined together, and you had the force of the Atlantic making a crack through the two mountains and opening the mountains apart. So you had the largest waterfall the world had ever known, which was the Atlantic filling up the then dry Mediterranean basin.
Evenings on the rock are tranquil. The tourists are gone for the day, but tomorrow they'll be back.